Hello, hello, hello. It is Wednesday. Oh, the weeks fly, the time flies. I love it. However, it's Wednesday again. Yes. So, welcome to Floyd Wellness. It's our mini session, and I'm going to pick up from last week in talking about core stretching. Welcome. I see new faces coming in. Thank you so much. So we're going to pick up from last week. We were on the floor last week. I want to be on the floor again today. Again, some of these can be modified. Excuse me. Some of these can be modified in terms of being in a chair. All right. We're going to work the lower back, and we're also going to work in the hamstring area because, as you know, besides fitness, I also teach dance. And recently I've been doing some moves that have been like working this area. So let's look at getting started with that. I hope everyone is having a really good week and people are taking care of themselves. Like I talked about, it's so important. Self-care. And we're going to go over maybe a few tips at the end talking about self-care. So, getting ready for today. If you are on the floor, in the bed, on the couch, you can do these. If you are at your chair, at your desk at work and using this as a little break, I love it. I'm glad I can contribute to you slowing down a little bit. Let's look at it. So as I say, I'm on my mat. Okay. Now, a couple of things that I really like to do. As you know, I'm always talking about core. Always, always, always. That's my thing. Core and kind of arms, but really core. So I plant my feet. I've also talked about, hey, Stace, I hope you're having a good time in New York. I want you to plant your feet. And as I say, I take an amazing Pilates class with Andrew Lepsio. And we always talk about having control going down. So I'm going to have my arms out here. And as I'm starting to lower myself, okay, I am going to take my time as I lower down to the floor to maximize there. All right. And then I'm going to put my hands under here, under my knees, and roll myself up. Okay? Let me kind of reposition myself just a little bit. Now, if you're at your desk, you can just do a slight and then bring it back up, nice and tall, right in here, and bring it back up. Okay? So, plant those feet. You want to feel your toes, the balls of your feet pressing into the floor, my heels pressing into the floor. I'm sitting up as tall as I possibly can. My head's not out, lifting in here, and I am starting to roll, contract in here, and roll down very slowly, vertebrae at a time, stretching down. Yes. Woo. I bring my knees up and I tuck my chin, my chin to my chest to roll up. Okay? Let's try a couple of those. So I'm going to take it down, 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 down. Stretch myself. Lower your shoulders. Press those shoulders down. Lift and roll back up. And again, I'm going to roll down, 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 down. Press my shoulders down, lift, and roll back up. Now, I think I need to be sure I'm in the screen because most of what I'm doing, let me see. There we go. Much better. I'm in the screen. Okay. All right. So, pressing down. Now, last week we talked about this too. You can run a Mack truck through here, okay? And that can happen with any of us. So that's just how we're built, all right? You want to press those arms down, press your shoulders down. I'm going to do a slight lift. That's why I'm pressing my heels into the floor. So I'm going to do a slight lift to make that contraction happen. Now, all I did was lift up my pelvic region so that my lower part of my back is pressing into the floor. It's almost like my core, my navel area is pressing to my back. The lower back is pressing into the floor, and then I release. So press in the heels, lift the body ever so slightly, contract and lower. Breathe, and release. Keep your shoulders down, pressing down. Yes. As a matter of fact, hey, turn your palms upward. Turn your palms upward, and that helps you to open up your shoulders. I find that even in standing, roll down, rolls you in, palms up, takes you there. All right, again, press into the floor and feel that press. Nice stretch. And release, and again, press. And release, and again, press. You can put your arms out here if you want to. And release, and press. And release, one more, press. Now stay there, underneath, chin, and roll it up. Yes, okay? How we doing? Are we good? Linda, hi honey. I'm hoping, I know that shoulder is healing very well. I know it is. All right. Stretch here. Roll down, roll down, roll down, roll down. So, I sit with my knees bent. My feet are right here on the floor. Just take a simple stretch. Press in. That helps to press the lower back into the floor. Yes. Take it down. Other side. Press in. You can flex a point. Just, the dance for me is always, my feet come off the floor, they got a point. Not always. And then down. And then press in. Yes. And then down. And press in. And then down. Okay? You can press them both in. Now, for some reason, for me, I can only go so far when I press this way. So I'm not sure. It could just be in my hip sockets. Whatever. Not a big deal. If I cross my feet, I can press in even more. So I do that. I cross my feet. Now, when I cross, I'm also pressing my shoulders down. That gives you everything going down to the floor. And then I switch sides, press again. Everything's going down to the floor. All right? Knees underneath. Tuck my chin and lift. Up and lift. So since I'm right here, let's do a couple of these. Let's lift and release. For those of you all that are sitting in chairs, lift and release. And lift and release. And lift and contract. Now, if you have your hands on your desk, you can do that too. You can put your hands on your desk and you can there and then bring yourself to a nice lift in the back. Here and lift. And here and lift. And here and lift. All right, now we're going to take it down. I do apologize if you hear a lawnmower in the background. Our grass is being cut. So, roll, roll, roll. Take it down. All right. Straighten out one leg and lift that leg and take it down. Now, as much as possible, I've got my shoulders down. I'm lifting and I take it down. I keep the other one bent. Lift and take it down. And lift for you. It may not be this high. It doesn't matter. There. And then down, bring it in. Other side, slide that leg out. Lift. And let's flex down. Point up and flex down. You can do it in a chair. Point up and flex down. And point up, flex down, drag it in and change sides. Point up and flex down. Point up and flex down. Point up and flex down. Point up and flex down and in, slide out, point up and flex down, point up and flex down, point up and flex down, point up and flex down. Here's another one, especially if you're on the floor. Just to kind of relieve the tension or stress in this area. Oh my goodness, are you all with the headless instructor here? Okay, so pardon me, let me do another adjustment a little bit. I just realized it because I didn't have my glasses on. Okay, so you can take your feet on each side of your mat, and it's kind of like a windshield wiper. And just windshield wiper. Again, thank you, Andrea. Another nice exercise for just kind of relieving the tension in the hip area, in your core, Just relieving the tension. Yes. Yes. Windshield wipe. Windshield wipe. Windshield wipe. Good job. Yes. Now, another little core exercise that I really like is just to bring them up and take them to your toes. So my toes are pointed. And I just lift up and I take it down. I'm up and I touch the floor. And I'm up and I touch the floor. And I'm up and I touch the floor. All right. You can drop both knees to one side. Lift them. Drop them to the other side. Lift them. Now, I'm going to drop both knees to one side. Maybe I'll look to the other direction. My palms are down for this one, and I'm pressing my shoulders into the floor, and I lift, and I look in the other direction. I get a nice stretch there. This is an excellent stretch. As my knees are over to the side, what I'm doing is, so my knees are to the left, I'm reaching that right arm, pressing it into the mat, pressing it downward, so my shoulders are not hiked up, and reaching out with it. Lifting up as much as possible. Go to the other side, same thing. So now my knees are to the right, and I'm reaching long, and I'm pressing down. Excellent. And I lift up. Underneath, and roll up. So good. Love it. Stretch your legs out. You can shake them out. Back up a little bit more. I'm going to flex. I'm going to just reach up and lift to go over. And come up. I'm going to reach up. And so I'm reaching up out of my body. Lift up, up and over. And here. And lift up and over. And here. I'm lifting up and over. And I'm right here. Shake out, shake out, shake out. I'm going to take it just a little bit, kind of would be maybe hip distance apart. I'm going to lift my arm and just reach there. That's it. That's all. Just simple stretches. So again, we're doing stretch and core this week. Stretch and core. Yes. Stretch and core. And lift. And lift. Now, as we talked about last week, we talked around you may having osteoporosis, osteopenia. You check in with your body. You can check in with your physician in terms of if exercises, like for instance, when you're rolling down, when you're coming down like this and rolling back up, if there's a problem in doing that, okay? So check for you because you have to do what is going to really work for you. Remember, when you're sitting, whether it's at your desk or wherever you are, you want to think of up. I know that I was in a discussion with some dancer friends of mine, and we were talking about how it's just still for us, and we haven't performed in a long time, and it's just your training stays with you in terms of lifting, opening the shoulders, as opposed to just sitting slumped like this all the time. You are constantly just jamming all your organs. You are putting all that stress on your lower back, your neck. Everything is just out of alignment. As opposed to lifting as if you've got a string coming right out of the top of your head and you want to lift up. So kind of how does that look? Sideways. So I'm here. And it's nothing like, oh, I've got to just, no, it's just a lift. It's a slight adjustment. And you just breathe with it. And you release. Okay. And you just find that lift. And it just helps you to lift in here. Because as we age, I know I have various ages of people who follow me. But as we age, this, we talked about this happening, this curving in happening. And this is why, I know I'm obsessed with it. I will confess to that. I'm just so always about my shoulders being open, my shoulders being open. Yeah, and there's times when, I'm done for the day, and I'm sitting like this. But for the most part, especially when I'm working at my desk, I want to think about being open and lifting the body because it's so important. So, everyone have a wonderful rest of the week. We'll see next week. I'm going to do a few more stretches on the floor, but I also want to start talking about some self-care things that we can do. And I mean, all of this, the fitness part of this, all of this is self-care, but there are other things that we can really take a look at in terms of bringing in self-care, because it's important, everyone. We have to take care of self. We have to love self and take care of self. It is so vitally important. And also others, you never know who's watching. Others see us and they see how we take care of ourselves. And it just may help others to want to do the same thing. Okay? So I thank all of you all for joining me. Have a wonderful rest of the day, the rest of the week. Drink your water. My 32 ounces. I work at going through 2 of these a day. Yes, water, 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 and more water. And if you have to put something in the water, water. All right? Thanks, you all. Have a wonderful week. Take care and thank you for joining me. I love it. Bye-bye now.